Good afternoon, Year 2, and welcome to your vocabulary lesson. We're going to be moving on to a new vocabulary, some new vocabulary words this week, and we're going to be looking at words all to do with habitats. Now, we're really lucky in Year 2 because we've already studied habitats as our science. So I think we'll be one step ahead on this unit, and there'll be lots of prior knowledge that we can draw upon to help us to understand what these words mean. But to start with your pen and paper, or with a partner, or with your head in your head, or with a family member, have a little look at this picture and think about who might live here. Pause the screen and have a go. Okay, so lots of different ideas. This is a woodland like we find around here. So I think you'd find foxes or badgers or mice and birds, and you might find little voles or little moles and little rats and things like that around. You might find woodpeckers that would like to be on the trees. You might find deer that are walking around and things like that. So all of those ideas are brilliant, and any other ideas that you've got. But this is like a woodland full of trees, full of grass, lots of places for them to hide, and lots of their food as well is there for them, and lots of places to get shelter under the trees, under the bushes, making their nests in the trees, all of those places. Right, the ocean. And this has got some clues already for you about who might live here. So again, on your piece of paper or in your mind or with a partner or with a member of your family, who might live in the ocean? Pause and have a go. Okay, so yes, anything like fish, sharks, octopus, starfish, whales, all those kind of things live in the ocean, and they make their ocean their home, their habitat. Okay, well done. And last one, the desert. Who might live here in the desert? Who might live here? Why might they live here? Again, make your list, pause the screen and have a go. Okay, so in the desert we find plants such as cacti. We might find camels and little sand animals and little foxes and little rats and things like that that can cope in the desert and in the heat and have got ways of going without water and things like that for a long amount of time. So you can send your lists to us at year2 at thepalmeracademy.com, or you can just show us your learning when you complete the quiz at the end of this vocabulary session. So we've now got some new words, okay, and some of them aren't that new because we have learned about them in science, and we can use our prior knowledge to understand what they mean. But I want you to now have a go at working out what you think each of these words is going to mean. So you're going to pause the video and you're going to have a go at writing down habitat and telling me what it means. Survival, what does it mean? And as I said, use that science knowledge that we did before, because that will really help you, because a lot of these words we have spoken about already. Okay, so pause the screen and have a go. Okay, well done. Now, fantastic if you've had a really good go today. We are going to go through the answers now and read the different answers of what the different what these different words mean and the definitions, and talk about them. If you got them right, give yourself a big tick on your paper. But if you need to edit them, you can edit them and work out and change them. Ready to use this information in the quiz that is set for you on Teams this afternoon. So let's go. So a habitat. A habitat is the environment, the place, the natural place where a plant or animal normally lives or grows. So for it to be its best self and for it to be completely happy, it's where it lives or grows. So a fish, its habitat is the ocean. A fox's habitat may be the woodland. Okay, so it's where it normally lives or grows. So plants also can have habitats. So think about different plants that suit different habitats. Survival. So this is how animals and plants manage to stay alive even if there are difficulties, such as not enough water. So surviving is staying alive even though there are things happening that should make it difficult for them. They might come into problems or stuff they can't do. So that's what survival means. It's overcoming boundaries and still staying alive. Environment. This is the natural world. It can be fresh water, it can be sea, land or air, and plants and animals live in these different environments, and they grow and they change and they live as they do in these environments. So an environment, and then they choose a certain type of environment to be their habitat. An ocean is a large expanse of sea. So it's bigger than the sea, it's really, really large, and it goes on and on and on. Woodland is a land covered with lots of trees, which we saw in that picture that we looked at a moment ago. Food chain is a series of things, and we did study this in science, it's a series of living things that feed on each other. So below them in the food grain. So the rabbit feeds on the grass, and then the fox feeds on the rabbit. And you'll remember we drew food chain. So we would have at one end, we would have the grass, and then we'd have our arrow, and then we'd have the rabbit, and then we'd have the fox. And we'd have little arrows going that way. So like that, meaning the fox eats the rabbit and the rabbit eats the grass. Okay, so try if you want to, you can send some to us at the email address, but have a go at writing down some other food chains that you can think of. It's a chain of one thing's eaten by something and then something is eaten by something else. Shelter, we've spoken about this a lot, is what gives you protection from weather or danger. So it may be animals would use a nest in a tree, or they may go underneath something into the underground. It's what gives them protection from real bad rain or storms, and also from danger from predators, which you're going to come on to trying to eat them. So a predator is an animal that kills other animals to live. So a lion is an example of a predator. It kills other animals. It's a meat eater. It's a carnivore. It kills those other animals to eat them. Stalk, which a lot of predators do, they would stalk their prey and they'd look around for the animal they want to eat and stalk them. It's to go for or pursue them stealthily. So they're going to look around, they're going to work out where they are and then go for them, attack, pounce and get them. And prey are the animals that are eaten by predators. So in this, the rabbit is prey for the fox. It's what the fox eats. Meanwhile, the fox is the predator. It eats the rabbit. We wouldn't say the rabbit is the predator because it eats grass, because grass isn't an animal. So the fox is the predator, it eats the rabbit, and the rabbit is its prey. It's an animal that is eaten by the predators. So those are the words this afternoon. If you got them right, fantastic, well done. If you needed to edit, don't worry, that's why we're here, we're learning. So that now you're going to go onto Teams, and on Teams is a very lovely quiz all about the vocabulary you've learned today. And you can answer all of the questions, there's only 5 of them, but answer them all and see if you can work out what the different words mean. And I'll give you some feedback on there. If you would like to, as an extra challenge, a little bit of a stretch, see if you can write me some sentences using these words and really, really explaining what those different word definitions mean. I look forward to seeing your quizzes. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon and well done for your vocabulary today. Bye for now.